2, 1. Hello, friends. I'm here with another guest. He's my buddy. Hello, Eddie. How are you, man?
Fine, Henri. Nice to meet you. After so much time.
Yeah, we finally met again.
We met again.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank you for doing this.
It's my pleasure, actually.
Yeah.
To contribute to your work.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being on my podcast. When I first met you, you just came from Greece, something like that. You just finished your high school there, and then you came to Tirana.
Actually, yeah.
How's your story? Because I just want to make a narrative of your story. How did you come from Greece to Tirana, and how did you first went to Greece with your family?
Okay.
You're from the city of 1,000 Windows, from Berati, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Actually, I'm from Berat.
Okay.
And
tell us a little bit about Berat.
Okay, Berat is one of the most beautiful cities in Albania, as far as I'm concerned. They say it's 2,400 years city, but I think the historical records probably are wrong. Probably it's much more old.
Than that?
Yeah. And it's a very beautiful city, but at the time being...
Does it have 1,000 windows?
It has much more.
Okay.
Okay, this is a linguistic fallacy in the Albanian language, because it's not një mije një dritare, which means 1,000 windows, but it is një mbi një dritare, which is one above the other windows.
Okay.
Because Mangalem, the structure of the city, the Mangalem, it's on the hill, and the windows seems to be the one above the other. Yeah,
I get it.
And actually, me and my family went
to Greece
in 1997.
When were you born? You're 90?
In 90.
Okay, with me.
Yeah,
okay, perfect. In 97, you traveled to Greece with family?
Yeah.
It was those times that Albanians used to migrate to other countries such as Greece, Italy, Germany.
It was these turbulent times in Albania,
Yeah, shocking.
Everyone knows the civil war.
Yeah, shocking economy problems a lot.
The pyramid schemes that followed this massive migration.
A lot of lies to Albanians. Yeah, poor Albanians on those days. But you were a kid. You knew shit. But
yeah.
You just traveled to Greece, and so how did you find Greece at first? Did you like it? I mean, the language and everything.
Okay, initially it's a new experience, new language. Probably I do not remember a lot from this period, but when you are a kid, you learn a lot and faster than...
you download new data to your brain so easily, and you remember things.
So I didn't have a lot of problem learning the language. I was facilitated quite quickly, and the culture is quite similar to the Albanian.
I'm sorry, where did you travel to?
To Athens.
Okay, to the capital of Greece.
Yeah, to a suburb of Athens.
And how about your mother and your father? Did they had some pre-Greece language?
No.
Nothing. So for them was more difficult because they had to find some work and feed you, right?
Yeah. It's the typical Albanian history of the 90s, where a family is immigrating from Albania, and you have to make yourself comfortable as quickly as possible to a new environment in order to survive and
to live and go on with the social life and
And after 15 years in Greece,
15 years,
I decided to come back to Albania because
just you, right?
Just me, because now Greece has
had those problems, economic problems, political
problems.
So it was 2012 or 13?
2012.
Okay, 2012.
2012.
My memory with numbers, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I can record data go on.
That's good. That's good for you. And in 2012, the situation in Greece after...
I remember those political government problems they had back then.
A huge economic crisis occurred in Greece in 2008, but it was a lot evident in 2010, and the society actually faced a great dilemma. A lot of
They had problems with the currency, with euro, right?
they had problems with
They
loans.
kind of wanted to return back to their currency. What was their pre-euro currency?
Drachmi.
Drachmi, yeah.
Drachmi.
People back then with drachmi currency used to live much better, like in Italy with lira.
Wait, we have to understand how the Eurozone works, because Greece was part of the Eurozone.
Yeah.
And they were taking subsidies and loans from EU, in order to create their economy, to strengthen their economy. But when the Eurozone faced this crisis in 2010, because the economy is like a chain today, and some actions that happen in US, because it's all started from
you
the
remember
US.
in 2008 with Obama.
It all started from US, and these reactions
after a while it touched also Greece.
No, it touched Europe, and Europe, it came a moment that told to Greece, we have given you a lot of money.
Now we need money back.
Now you have to stabilize your economy and give us some money back.
Yeah. Now you're in debt with us. So Greece had faced this problem.
Yes, Greece faced this problem.
Which came out of the blue.
For most of them, yes.
Yeah.
But some of them, especially the politicians, knew that it would come a moment that someone would say, okay, stop. Now give us the money. Because when you always take and you spend to the nightclubs, to the bouzoukia, and you have this great life, up to a moment, this Porsche Cayenne, these expensive cars,
this luxury.
You could see them in the countryside in Greece everywhere, because most of the villagers would take subsidies from the EU, and they would make, let's say, the documents in such a way that they would receive money and buy personal stuff.
Yeah.
Cars, houses.
But also I'm sure that tourists visit Greece a lot. Like, I think it should be a great number, because Greece is part of history. How civilization was built and how things started.
Greece is a very lucky country, because
for that.
When it faced this crisis, the only sector that was always keeping up and strengthening the economy was the tourism.
Yeah.
And
is there a number? Do you have a number for that? How many tourists visit Greece per year? Is there a number?
A lot of millions.
A lot of millions, that's for sure.
A lot of millions. I think more than 20.
But does any season affect the tourism again? For example, maybe in summer there is more, since Greece is surrounded by a lot of islands.
The season of summer in Greece lasts like 8 months, If you go to islands like Mykonos or Santorini or Crete, you can see tourists from, let's say, April till October.
I see that.
And if you compare it with our tourism, which lasts, let's say,
3 months.
3 months. You're kidding, right? It lasts only 1.5, but okay, we are advancing, we are like a baby, an infant.
Actually, if you have seen the magazines, I mean online magazines, maybe also physical ones, from London or also from Paris, they have set Albania to the top 10 destinations to visit. The south of Albania is a lucky one, is beautiful, incredible.
We are
rocks.
An undiscovered jewel in the Mediterranean.
You said it perfect, yeah.
But we have to set a specific structure in order to make this tourism an industry, because these are two different concepts,
Yeah.
It's another matter to have the beautiful landscape, the sea, and it's another matter to make it an industry, to give service to the people who are coming and visiting your country.
Yeah. A lot of marketing we should also do.
Not only marketing. Marketing is like the clickbait who will make them come. But once they come, you have to provide them the facilities, the infrastructure. Beginning from the roads, from the hospitality, And from the price rates, because in Albania, you know,
the price rates.
Yeah,
they are a little expensive. You mean?
Not only expensive, but you.
Like, for example, we don't have a lot of hostels.
You can have another price from, let's say, Henri, another price from me, Edison, another price from, let's say, Albi, you know.
Yeah.
And you have to set some standards. That's my opinion, and I think I'm right, because if you go in Greece, you will see how they
function,
how the situation functions there.
There is a system
and how the locals receive the foreigners, the tourists.
Mm-hmm. They share some tips, maybe.
Yeah, they do all this. They do all this stuff.
They give some information to the tourists, which here they don't. You need to ask for it, or you need to Google it.
Okay, it's not only that, because nowadays you have access to the internet and you can receive this information.
Yeah.
But it starts from, let's say, the water. You have to have water supply 24 hours. And
you think water is missing?
Electricity. I think water is missing.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so shame.
We are, you know, we are the second country after Norway for
water resources.
For water resources, yeah.
Man, we have so many.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of mountains, right?
And we are one of the few countries in Europe, I think top 3 for renewable energy resources.
Wow.
We have electricity from renewable energy facilities.
Yeah, but still we have problems, you say.
Yeah, we have problems. Yeah.
So tourists, when they come here, they kind of face some problems.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Transportation is another issue. You know, if you want to go, let's say, from Tirana to Sarand.
Yeah, you will take the bus.
And
yeah,
of course you will take the bus, but once you take the bus, you will need like 7 hours to go to Saranda, which is like 297 kilometers from Tirana.
Yeah.
Do the maths, you know.
Why does it take 7 hours? Doesn't it take 5 hours to go there?
With the bus?
Yeah.
No, it's like 7 hours. You know, they stop here and there.
Mm-hmm. So it's a lot.
And even with the car,
you mean to Saranda to the very end, to Ksamil, right?
I mean to Saranda.
To Saranda, to the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ksamil, it's, let's say, like 10 minutes from Saranda.
Yeah. So it's a lot. But we don't have a highway, right? Like, we don't have a highway.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's the problem. But how can they make the highway? They can't, because, you know, the part of the south where you travel, when you pass Logara, everything you need to drive.
If you go to Sarand from
Gjirokastra,
from Logara, you know, you need much more.
Yeah.
But you have to go from Gjirokastra.
Yeah. From Fier to Gjirokastra, they have done something.
Yeah, that's a good part of the.
If you have traveled lately.
I've traveled, but
it's a good
from
one.
Gjirokastra to Sarand,
that's a problem.
It's like 30 kilometers and you need like an hour.
Yeah, that's a problem, because you also need to heal the mountain, which is what is called Muzina. Yeah, which is also difficult to drive by. Also a little bit extreme for new drivers.
We have a difficult terrain, you know, a mountainous and the sea next to the mountains. And that's the beauty of it, but, you know, that's the difficulty of it as well.
Tiny corners, tiny angle corners. Yeah. So, man, when you came here in 2012, how did you find Tirana? Or did you like regularly each summer? Did you come to Albania?
Yeah, each summer I would come to Berat and to Tirana as well. And
have your grandparents?
Yeah, I had my grandparents and my family, my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, you know. And I was familiar with the situation in Albania, in Tirana.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's quite, let's say, up to a point similar to that of Greece.
Mm-hmm.
People, the
youngsters, generation,
the youth would be at the cafes all day, you know, would chit-chat with each other.
Oh, do they also drink coffee a lot in Greece? What is the average intake?
Are you kidding? I don't know
Because
the statistics, but I can for sure tell you that they do drink a lot of coffee, and the coffee there is quite better than here.
Quite better than here?
Yeah.
I came from Italy, from Rome, and there Italians drink a lot of coffee. Like the average intake would be like 4 to 7 cups per day. There are people that drink more than 8 cups of coffee, which is a lot.
Wow.
But they drink the coffee like a necessity. They don't sit for an hour to drink a coffee. If they go to a restaurant...
In Greece, they sit for quite hours to drink their coffee.
Come on.
Yeah.
So
because they drink like cold coffees, Freddo.
Yeah.
And Freddo cappuccino, Freddo espresso, frappe.
Mm-hmm.
And this is done with ice, And the coffee there is so strong that it can last without being watery,
mm-hmm.
for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And they sit in the cafes for...
I'm not sure, but in Greece, is there seeds of coffee?
No.
But why is it so good in Greece?
I don't know.
Do they import it from from Brazil, from Colombia?
This starts from, you have so many brands in Albania.
It's
true.
You
have brands that you don't even know they would exist, with names like Edison Cafe, Henri Cafe. What do you think these coffees are?
Yeah.
What quality do you think they provide?
How do they filter them? Where do they come from?
While in Greece, you have only the standard ones, Illy,
Lavazza. Yeah. So, why did you decide to come here? Just because there were political and economic problems, and your parents maybe thought you better go to Albania, start a good university in English. You studied at UNIT, New York University of Tirana.
Actually, it was my proposition to come in Albania because the social situation in Greece was
you had other
unbearable. I would say it like this because the psychological momentum of the society was at the lowest point, and there was uncertainty about the future and a lot of depression in the air. I couldn't bear it anymore. And I wanted something fresh, and I thought, why not go to Albania?
Exotic place.
Not exotic. I knew what I would face, but I was ready for a new start.
Yeah.
And
did you
our university
other Albanian friends in Greece that also came here to travel to start university here? Because I remember when we first met, we also had other Albanians that just came from Greece.
Yeah. I met them at the university actually, but they came from Greece.
Interesting.
It was a whole community of youth coming from Greece back to
Albanians
Albania
that have lived, let's say, for a decade in Greece and then coming back to their place again. And you're still here in Albania after you graduated in what? It was international relationship?
Yeah, international political science, international relations.
Yeah. Okay.
Because international relationships,
it's between men and women, or between men.
I don't have problem with internationals or locals.
I started at first. You remember me? We first met at this course called U.S. History, the second, something like that, right?
Yeah, U.S. History 2. No. It was World War History. World History 2.
Okay, fuck that. And,
yeah.
And
Mr. Kostas.
Yeah, Mr. Kostas. Yeah. Good man, great man.
Yeah,
quiet man, interesting, smart, everything. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
I started at international relations, but then I left.
Why?
I left
why did you leave?
Because to me it was like I had to read a lot of gossips or news, and then I had
it's not gossips. You don't say it like this.
Okay. Okay, but sometimes media share a lot of gossip just for you to read some news.
Actually,
and then to share some advice.
It was the winner's version of reality.
Well, anyways, I just left that background and then I went to IT, and then I had some economy problems in my house. So I just left university and I started to sports university, which now I'm in Rome, and I work and I study. Yeah,
you became quite successful with sports.
Yeah. Because look, I was motivated even at New York University, but I had some economy problems, and in the same time I had to work, and so I wasn't 100% focused, and so that got me tired, and so I left New York University to start my sports university. Yeah,
that's great.
But the one at New York University was such a great experience to me because everything we did it in English, right? And so my English came from this university, because I used to go to the offices of these other teachers, and I used to talk with them, and that helped me a lot.
Yeah, we have a lot of international professors. Yeah. Where the only mean of communication was
You still keep contacts with them?
Actually, I keep contact with few of them.
Who was it?
Ilir Kalemay, you know?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Ilir Kalemay.
That was wearing glasses, yeah.
Yeah. The political scientists and Ermal Asimia.
Yeah, still with him. Okay.
Yeah.
He still continues there.
Actually, no, Ermal, no.
He left.
Yeah, he left, but Ilir continues there.
Mm-hmm.
And, these are people who provide to the Albanian society, some intellectual input. And
they share and contribute a lot.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also you learn by them, so they give their example to you, and then you share your example to your friends, to your society, to your new friends.
You learn by them, by the manner of their life, by what they express.
The way they express things, the way they debate, the arguments they use.
Of course.
So they do constructive conversations which help also you.
They have this
to be more reasonable and think more analytical for any sort of problem.
They have this alternative version of the reality of how Albania would be much better place if it followed that. Because they have lived abroad, and they can share a lot of experience. There are people who read a lot, and once you read a lot, the information they have about the reality, the rhythm it has, and the changes that probably have to occur socially, economically, and politically in order to raise the standards of living in Albania,
Right. So you did graduate in 2017, something like that?
2016 actually.
16.
Yeah.
And then you stayed here.
But I had a problem with the course, and I'm receiving my diploma
right now.
Right now, yeah.
Really? What course was that? Which course?
Wait, okay, it was discourse analysis.
Analysis, and what was it about? Was it about doing research or something like that?
It was about.
You had to be
reading through the text and analyzing
and then
the structure
analytical for
the structure of, let's say, a debate, the structure of linguistic phenomena occurring in society through specific paradigms, and let's say why Henri said what he said in the way he said, and analyzing this through the social, economic, and political context.
So let's say you had to bring all the theories you knew to the table and then analyze everything. Why did he start you to do that? And what was his decision and why he took this?
Actually, I had to analyze specific debates. We versus them, you know that concept?
No, I don't know that. We versus them?
Yeah, when you structure the logos of, let's say, we are part of this, we are the good, they are the bad. When you start making divisions in the logos, and you are creating...
Logos comes from Greece, right? It means science.
No, logos means
knowledge?
Speech. Knowledge, yeah.
Knowledge.
Speech.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And it comes from Greece.
Yeah.
But in political lexicon, vocabulary, it's used.
Yeah. So this university did help you, right? It helped you a lot also with English?
It helped me a lot with English, with
being a strong debater, because I remember there were debating teams, that every year they used to do this competition, right?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. And
We
I
won.
think you were a part of
Of a winning team.
perfect. Yeah.
And it was a good university. I do not regret spending my money there.
Yeah. The same for me.
And lives go on.
Of course. And then you found work here, man, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you work now?
I'm at a pharmaceutical company, Pharma One.
Mhm.
It's a wholesaler, secondary and primary distributor in Albania.
Oh, it's Albanian.
It's an Albanian company
So
distributing pharmaceutical
Okay.
products from...
Does it also export?
No,
No.
it does not export.
Okay, just exports to the cities in Albania, right?
Only distribution.
I've heard about this one. It's a big one, actually.
Yeah, it's a big one, actually.
Yeah. You happy there?
Okay, it's a good experience,
You have relations with people, right?
Yeah.
You have to communicate a lot.
I'm in contact with the pharmacies. It's a difficult industry. To be honest, I was surprised about the level, let's say, I don't want to say it like this, but the intellectual level of the pharmacists.
Mm-hmm. My mother is a pharmacist. Thank you.
Okay, not everyone, is the same, but it's like a bazaar to them,
Mm-hmm.
You give me this, I give you that. They always compete about the price. A lot of them do not have, let's say, the pharmaceutical background to do the job, but we live at this society.
They have it, they adapt to it.
This society allows this situation.
Yeah.
And it's all about the
It's
money.
a war, man. It's a war. It's a
war,
fucking hot war. It's a war. What can you do about that? Nothing. You just need to adapt and just...
So you mean that you just have to survival of the fittest?
Kind of.
Kind of, without moral restrictions?
You have to. Also them. You have to include them. But we are improving, right? Albania is improving.
Okay, yeah, Albania is improving.
Is improving a lot.
Improving a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a reality.
Yeah, that's the reality. Also here
Do you
in
like
Tirana,
Rome?
I'm happy. Yeah, I like Rome because Rome
What
is
do
the
you like
capital,
more
right?
about it?
There is chaos. It is ranked also the second most jam trafficked in Europe, which is a big number, the second.
And which one is the first?
Palermo.
Oh, I've been to Palermo. It's a very beautiful city.
Yeah,
but Palermo is a
also,
small one.
Yeah, it's very small. And so the traffic gets...
Palermitani are like Albanians,
Yeah.
Once I was there,
exactly. The same
they would
shit.
yell at the bazaar,
Yeah, they over...
Hey, Antonio, hey!
yeah. Like those, you have seen those Sicilian movies with mafia
Mobster,
and things. Yeah. To me, Godfather is the best pre-sequel mobster movie of all times. To me,
what did you like about the movie?
Yeah. Godfather is about family. There's something so genuine about that, which in our modern society lacks. Bigger than the government itself, it's family above all. And then there's this moment when Michael Corleone, when he talks to his brother, says, "Don't ever take sides against family ever again." And that's the best moment to me.
Okay, yeah, I like this artistic expression, because they did it so good that it was so realistic that even nowadays...
But just the first and the second, because the third one, it really felt. Because I'm not sure about the first was released in 71, something like
72,
that. And then,
72,
yeah, something like that. And then the second around maybe 78, 80.
Yeah, somewhere.
Late 70s.
The third
and the third then came, it came very late. Al Pacino was already, was a little old. And the movie didn't actually went out as they expected to.
Okay.
The first and the second sequels were the best. The third wasn't in the same level, let's
even
say.
If they have stopped at the first one, it would be a legendary movie.
Yeah.
But they preferred to make the second one to provide
the second was also legendary.
A brief story about Don Vito.
Yeah,
the
Don
story
Vito.
of
Yeah,
Don
remember
Vito,
with Roberto De Niro. Playing him. Yeah.
And okay, it's one of the most iconic movies.
Yeah.
I liked a lot, but
It never dies.
yeah.
Yeah, it will never die.
We Albanians,
Yeah.
our character is connected with these movies because it has a psychological impact to us, because it provides the story of someone who had nothing. He went as an immigrant to another country and
To America. He went to America, right?
what?
He went to America,
He went
To New
New York, and from the scratch he became filthy powerful.
And
because
with a lot of courage. You remember the courage he had?
No, it's a matter of power. Power. Power consists of economic
Also psychology.
psychology, but of muscles as well, because you are, let's say, above the law. This is the concept of power. Which is provided from that movie. And with the Albanians, we had this terrific situation in the 90s where the country was bankrupt. We escaped this totalitarian reality in the 1990, and the Albanians were so poor that they could correlate themselves with the reality, let's say, of the Padrino, of the Godfather.
The Godfather.
And it provided to them a psychological relief that if you could do it, you can do it,
Yeah.
And to be honest, everyone knows that we, the Albanians, are not
And also, if you remember the same movie Scarface with Al Pacino,
yeah.
it was almost the same situation. I mean, from scratch,
Yeah.
he became then his death.
Of course,
Because
that was the most beautiful scene of the movie, because it became realistic. Because you can't always succeed, become famous, be above the law, do whatever you want without consequences, because this is not reality.
Limit, right?
This is not a reality. This is a dream. But when the death comes, this is more, let's say, an earthy situation.
What iconic death, though.
Yeah.
Iconic death.
Yeah. It's the story of a vanity of the mankind.
I kinda that was kinda supported by a true story, right?
No.
It was
No.
It was
Blow was supported from true story. George Jung, the associate of Pablo Escobar.
Mm-hmm.
That's based on the reality. But Scarface, no.
Scarface, no.
No.
I'm not sure why.
Scarface, actually, the initial movie of Scarface was about Chicago mobster Al Capone. It's the movie of 1930, a movie of 1930s.
I've seen the movie of Al Capone, which is a true story, by the way.
Not the movie of Al Capone, but a movie called Scarface. Was initially made of Al Capone in the 1930s because Al Capone had a scar. Had a scar here.
Yeah. But kind of like Al Pacino at the movie, right? Tony.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I just want to check if Scarface was based in two very best friends that migrated from Cuba to United States. I just want to check that. The true story of Scarface. The real Scarface got his nickname. Okay, Al Capone is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember it well. Yeah. Here's Al Capone. Received his famous nickname after getting into a fight in 1917. Capone insulted a woman at the Harvard Inn in Brooklyn, New York, and her brother slashed Capone's face as retribution, giving him several scars. And Capone was embarrassed by the deformity and often tried to hide the scars in his face when he was being photographed. He also claimed he received them during the war, even though he never served in the military. So he kind of wanted to fake the scars, but the true story was this one. When Capone became a famous mobster, the press started calling him Scarface, which he hated that. His criminal colleagues called him a big fellow, with friends calling him Snorky, another word for spiffy. And this is how Tony Montana got his name. What a story, man.
Yeah. Do you like the stories? Because you seem fascinated.
Yeah. And I kind of miss those kind of stories. nowadays. We don't
What
have
do
a
you
lot
miss?
of...
Because they were cold blood killers, you know.
Yeah.
Al Capone would kill.
I mean,
in
the
mass.
story, how was put in the narrative. I like, I mean, the process, how he started everything.
Yeah, but you know,
Nowadays we don't have...
You know, there is the concept of a rule of law.
Yeah.
This concept was not in his vocabulary, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because in order for him to become filthy rich and powerful,
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to be above the law and wouldn't follow the law.
Yeah.
And he would commit a lot of crimes. That's the tool. The tool, that's the mechanism he used in order to become the one who became. But once he became so powerful and rich, you know, he became like a myth. And now everyone who wants to become powerful,
Mm-hmm.
they are using, let's say, these paradigms, these role models as an excuse. But
Yeah.
they are not the best role models for the society, I guess.
Of course not. But people actually, when they see someone being outlaw, they just love it. For example, the first rappers.
why
You
do
remember
they
the
love
first
it?
rappers?
Yeah, but why do they love it?
Because they don't have it. You love something you don't have. Kinda.
What don't they have actually? What's
They don't have this power that you said.
Yeah.
For example, the rappers, you know, all the tattoos, the things they would say in the text, and people would follow them because they would say things and kind of do things that normal people wouldn't do. And so they would follow them and, you know, just being a fan and because I'm a fan of you.
Have you seen what has happened to these famous rappers? Now they are businessmen, legitimate businessmen, you know?
Yeah, they are smart.
And they
man.
are, they are filthy rich.
Yeah. Filthy rich. Those damn pigs.
they used
They use the fans.
No, actually, that's the industry. Actually,
Yeah.
they did very well.
But also,
To
for
adapt,
example,
but-
let's say you love bodybuilding.
Initially, they started accusing the society that it is this and that, you know, all their own things in the society. They started singing about them. They created an audience, a fan base.
Yeah.
And in the end, they became the ones, you know, they became part of this society.
Yeah.
And they are using the means of this society.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring you an example. For example, let's say you love bodybuilding and you see this bodybuilder training. You're a fan of him, right? You want to do things that he does. You want to buy supplements that he does.
Why are you a fan of him? You want the body of him or you want the fame of him?
It's kind of you want to look like him at first, maybe, right?
Okay, yeah.
You want to look like him. You want to behave like him. Maybe if he wears a beard, then you are going to wear a beard because you want to look like him, right? It's like, for example, Instagram nowadays, to me, all these people that are jacked, you know, that have perfect bodies, it's like from the mythology of Greece. Everything's because the history just keeps repeating itself. Back on those days when we have learned about the history of sports, in Greece, athletes wanted to look like these myths, you know, like Zeus, for example, or those other gods that have this sculpted body, but they weren't true, right? The same thing is happening now. You have seen a lot of advertisements guys and women make in Instagram, like buy this and be like me, right? You have seen a lot
Yeah.
in Instagram.
I think
Quite a big money they're making. Every day you see a new guy opening his business, right?
if they can succeed, why not?
Yeah.
That's the concept of free market.
But what I don't like, man, is that they sell supplements that actually they don't use, but they instead kind of take steroids. And I'm saying that they take steroids because when I see some of these guys jacked, and I see him, doing some jump ropes, I see his breath, and his breath is shit.
Has no
I mean,
breath,
the cardio, his cardiovascular system is not good. How can you have that body with that shit cardiovascular system? Because you cannot have a Ferrari with a engine of let's say from a Polo or from Fiat, right?
Yeah,
which is 1.1.
I understand.
You need some power here and some power here. You need to be in balance. Everything should be in balance, right? You cannot do just weights. You also need some cardio.
Yeah, but he's not doing it to be healthy, because if you want to be healthy, you can have a body type, a regular body type.
Just like you.
No, I'm not. I can be much better, but you can have, let's say, your body. Okay, you are
okay, I get it.
Above the normal guy, let's say,
okay.
But they goes in parallel, health and body type, body structure.
Yeah.
But these guys, they are all about the image,
Yeah. Because, all about the image, yeah.
Yeah, as you said, Instagram is the vanity of our society.
Yeah.
Show off,
Yeah, a lot of show offs.
Look at the life I have.
Yeah.
Creating envious relations with the others,
Yeah. It's like a fake life, right?
Yeah, fake life.
It's not healthy for people, that kind of life.
Yeah, what can you say? Probably they like it.
I also heard, for example...
they like to be likable,
Yeah, maybe you have Snapchat. I'm not sure. I don't have Snapchat.
I do not have Snapchat.
All right, perfect. Now, women in America, they have started that with Snapchat. So they use these filters to modify their face. Those beauty features. They look perfect and beautiful. They like their face now because in Snapchat they look better. They think so, more beautiful. And what they do is that they go to these plastic surgery doctors, and they tell him, "Sir, can you help me with this?" And they show this picture and say, "I want to have, let's say, this kind of the jaw. I want to slim the jaw, or I want to make it wider." And what the doctors say, you think? They say,
course,
we can take it. Yeah. But
it's all about the money. It was a song.
But that's so scary, man. People are so beautiful when they are natural and they don't do this thing.
Okay,
I agree. I agree when your nose, let's say, have a little...
We have the freedom to choose our reality. Probably they like to be like that, they don't like their image.
But nobody cares about that.
But they care about that. That's the most important part. For example, you can do something that you care about it, You won't do something I care about it. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right? So
you think it's fine?
For me, it's fine. Yeah. Okay.
But for example, if your sister would wanted to do something like that for you is out of the boundaries, would you kind of argument with her?
Of course, I would give her my recommendations about the concept of beauty and let's say about the promotion that the society, the role models that the society is creating,
and the problems he's dealing with.
But in the end,
it's her decision.
Yeah, it's her decision.
So you don't interfere like a big no. It's me here. It's your brother here.
Actually, my sister is married and. She has
another voice there.
Yeah, she has let's say 2 children,
No, it was just
I understand. I understand. Yeah, but okay, that's the reality we live, and that's actually the problem of our reality, because fakeness,
Yeah.
People are becoming fake in emotions, in image. Yeah. And this creates a distortion of the society we live in. And nowadays the problem is to make a sincere connection with other people, because a lot of people have their psychological problems who have an immediate consequence to let's say to their life and to the life of them around them.
Do you think we are losing communication?
Yeah, actually,
people are losing
with it. With the smartphones, we are becoming more lonely.
The more we stay there, the more lonely we become, right?
Yeah.
All those apps, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp.
Initially, they were created to connect people, but now they are isolating them.
There's also a new desire of people.
Because people now says, okay, I followed you, I called you, but there is no need to meet you. And, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Also, there's this new desire of people, just text me, don't call me.
Really?
Yeah, they have those statuses.
The statuses?
Yeah, they say, just text, don't call. People now don't even want to talk to you. Like 100%, if you call someone in the phone, they won't open the...
Okay, probably they are busy, but...
But also they don't kind of...
Yeah.
Because they have lost the sense of communication. That's what I mean.
I understand. That's a tragedy, let's say.
Yeah. I also have seen some...
But what do you recommend, What do you recommend?
Podcasts are great.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, talking here 2 hours, I love it. I mean, the long-form conversations, talking with you, do these narratives of our story.
Do you know what I like about podcasts?
Yeah,
is that, people may express themselves in a different way than their common reality. Because if you are...
And also in a very simple way.
In a very simple way. Because if you are in your job, if you are in your working environment...
Mm-hmm.
You cannot express these ideas,
You're not original. I mean,
you have to wear a specific suit, a specific costume, and
which is your professional, let's say, your professional suit, and act like that. Yeah, that's true. And in the podcast, you're completely free. You improvise.
In the podcast, you may watch a different reality of, let's say, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Who would say that?
Who would think about Elon Musk that would smoke in a podcast, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But he did it. And
quite a clever guy, I believe.
About marijuana. I'm not sure in Greece, is it legalized? No.
No, it's not legalized.
But people still fucking smoke.
Yeah, of course. Even, in Albania.
Have you smoked joints?
What?
Joints, marijuana. Have you smoked it?
No, me no.
Nope.
No. I've just tried, cake.
Oh, the cake. Where? In Netherlands?
Yeah, in Amsterdam. I was in Amsterdam last year and I said I do not smoke.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah, I said I do not smoke, but...
How was it?
I will give it a try,
How was it?
You mean the cake?
Yeah.
Okay, I slept well.
You slept well.
I do not know the effect of marijuana, but... I can't say that I was totally 100% affected by the drug, but probably its effect
in a good way.
Probably its effect was that I slept well,
Because you take the best effect, let's say, of marijuana when you kind of smoke it, occasionally or in a recreative way, for friends once in months or once in 2 weeks.
Do you believe that there is a limit in drug consumption? For example, you start consuming a little bit and a little bit and you can't control it?
Marijuana is not like alcohol or like tobacco. No, marijuana is not like that.
I've seen some friends, they are like aliens nowadays because they have consumed.
They don't have the proper culture. That is why marijuana, let's say, it's not legalized in Greece or in Albania, because we don't have the proper culture to affirmate.
What do you mean about proper culture? So proper culture is not something written in the law, It's something that people, that the
comes with experience, right?
That the individual either has it or not, and it's always up to the individual to decide if he will accept this culture or not.
Mm-hmm.
So we cannot make, let's say, are we like 2 million people make 2 million laws about legalizing marijuana in specific conditions?
In Rome, it was legalized for a year, marijuana.
Really?
Yeah. And then what happened? I had this podcast with Carlo the other day, and he talked to me that now they just put it away again because he brought this argument which made sense to me, because there is the Sicilian mafia and also Gomorrah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the market was free for marijuana, I mean, if the government legalized marijuana, what happens to mafia?
It would sell other drugs.
It would sell less.
Other drugs.
No, but people mostly buy marijuana, because it's something very for recreational purposes.
Most of them, they are starting with marijuana and they are going somewhere else, because once you start, your body is creating immunity from drugs. For example, today you are consuming 10 grams, tomorrow 20. You will need, let's say, after a few months,
that
30.
Is lack of culture.
No, you will need 30 grams to have the same effect.
No, but you don't have to smoke it every day. You smoke it rarely, occasionally, maybe once a week with your friends.
Few of them are the people, who will restrict themselves to this.
In America, it's almost legalized in every state in America. Almost. In the States.
Yeah.
Why? Because the culture there for marijuana is in a high standard. And people know how to smoke marijuana. And you know what they are doing now? They want to legalize marijuana in the sports person. For example, in the NFL, which is the National Football Club in America, because they have seen that people that have left NFL after they have smoked some marijuana, they have had some effects in their brain, and their traumas have just vanished away.
Vanished away so simply?
Yeah, just by smoking marijuana. They have seen these effects of marijuana doing magical effects to their brains, and that is why they want to legalize it. And this is legit. This is a real thing. I'm not joking about this.
Okay, I'm not saying that I'm against legalization, but
no, I'm saying about the benefits that marijuana has.
Do you think that our body needs something external to become better?
It's not external. You know the system how marijuana works. It has this cannabinoid. We have this endocannabinoid system in our body, right? How to activate it? There are two ways. Now, when you take let's say the flower of marijuana, marijuana has these very two ingredients. It has cannabis and it has the tetrahydrocannabinoid. Now, tetrahydrocannabinoid is the part they remove because tetrahydrocannabinoid makes you experience visual things. It's a little bit risky, but it's also very good. But what they leave there is just cannabis. All right.
But so why we need to activate that in our body? Why our body needs that system to be activated?
All right, man. So I'm going to show you why we need to enter this to hit this endocannabinoid system. Now, the first way, as I told you, was the CBD, so the other substance of the cannabis plant, right? So it enters and hits your endocannabinoid system that relieves pain, anxiety, etc. Now, there's also this other way by exercise. In runner's world, this is known as a runner's high. So it's very popular. So the idea is that your body makes its own cannabis during exercise, usually attributed to endorphins, which is like our package of pleasure. A study found that mice showed elevated levels of both endorphins and endocannabinoids after running, an activity they engage for fun. Mice also was less sensitive to pain, less anxious, and more tranquility after running. When the team used drugs to block mice endocannabinoid receptors, so the system was, let's say, deactivated, mice was no longer relaxed after running. So as you can understand, if we don't hit our endocannabinoid system, we will feel more pain, we'll feel more anxiety by our work and maybe more stressful. So that is why exercising is very important. And at times with recreational activity, with the advice of the doctor, we can also smoke some joints.
Up to what point? Because I've seen people, lagging, in their thoughts. They are like blackout. They are moving slowly.
Yeah.
And up to what point it is recreational, and up to what point it becomes dangerous?
When I say recreational, it means that you smoke marijuana once in 2 weeks or once a month. Once in 2 weeks for the body type of Henri, adjusted to the prototype of Henri, or to a healthy person.
To a healthy person.
Yeah.
But
because there is a lot of
there will be a lot of abuse, and you will end up, with a chaotic situation.
That's what I'm saying, man. If there is no proper culture, they don't legalize it to you.
Yeah, but how do you create a proper culture?
The society, we are under development, right? Like a country. We are not a developed country like America, right? In America, they have legalized it because they have seen that by legalizing it, it's not that people will just run after marijuana. Because now they have a culture. They learn everything from psychologists in the school, in their university, in the college. They learn everything about marijuana, the pros and the cons, when to take it, when not. It's just a culture, man. It's an ideology.
And do you think that legalizing it solved the problems?
I just told you that athletes are protesting and they need marijuana, to consume it by the recommendation of the doctor, just to stay away from this CTE. CTE is the chronic traumatic encephalopathy that happens from chronic traumas.
Henri?
In Rome, we smoked just once because, time flies. So we had just kind of a party. This is how it works in Italy. They gather with each other and they have a party. So this day they had bought this marijuana and I saw this package and it was reading.
This package?
Yeah, no, because, it's not thick.
Okay,
it's very slim. It's just a package, very high quality package. And I asked them, is it legalized? Because it was reading cannabis, light cannabis, something like that. Is it legalized? Yes, it is legalized, they said. Wow, how much does it cost? And it costed something around 15 euros. And it depended then by the quality and the things you want. So yeah.
Was it a good experience?
Sure. It's just for that moment. Then you forget about it. Because I told you, it's a culture. That's why it was legalized in Rome. I don't have a lot of knowledge about here in Europe, but for example, in Netherlands, it's legalized totally, right?
Marijuana, yeah.
Yeah.
But marijuana in Netherlands, as far as I'm concerned, it's like most of the, let's say, red light district and the other coffee shops. Nowadays, it's like a tourist attraction, They have created it they have made it like an industry, and they are attracting tourists.
Mm-hmm.
And they
come and try.
Yeah.
But also, I want to mention that if you want to smoke someday marijuana, you have to be healthy at first. If you have health problems, you should not try marijuana. Because, something might happen
Side
to
effects.
you for the moment and you don't know how to react, or the body who is with you might not be a doctor, so he can't help, and things can go out of control. So if you smoke marijuana one day, someone, but you have health problems, first go to a physical medical doctor, talk with them, speak with them. You want to try out marijuana, and if there is any caution, you should take in consider before consuming marijuana.
Thank you for the tip.
You're welcome, man. But anyways, Albania, man, is improving in a lot of areas, and I would be happy to also live here in Albania.
What's the primary, contrast of living abroad in Rome with living in Albania at Tirana?
Now, Rome is a capital, right? It's a metropole city, just like Tirana. So there is chaos.
What's the
there
tempo
is traffic.
of life there?
Lifestyle is very fast. Right?
It's fast. Yeah.
It's very, very fast. You wake up in the morning, you go to school, then you come back, you go to work. But okay, transportation.
Sorry,
that's great.
Do you like this routine? Waking up early, going to school.
I like to wake up early, though I love to sleep a lot. But I want to wake up because we have just one life, and we need to live it in 100%. You agree with me?
Yeah. Although I do not like to wake up early. And
well, I have to wake up early
let's say, a
because
procrastinator. In some way.
Well, it depends also to the lifestyle, right? But I have to wake up early because someday I need to run, let's say. Some other day I need to meet up with a person. Some other day I need to prepare something because later I will go to this event, let's say. So if I wake up early, I can make the schedule run smoothly. I don't have to think in the very last moment. You get the idea. I was talking to you about the transportation system in Rome is perfect because you have the metro, right? The bus lines work correctly, perfectly, and but since Rome is a big country, it's ranked second after London for the population. London has around 8 million people in it, and Rome has 4.5, which is a lot.
4.5.
Yeah, 4.5 million.
Athens has like 5 million.
No, I don't believe that.
Google it.
Are you sure?
And
Because I know that-
Istanbul, which is in Europe geographically, has like 14 million.
No, about Turkey, I know that. Athens in 2011, it had 664,046, not even a million.
That's not correct. Believe me.
It's correct, man. Okay, I'm entering to Wikipedia to Athens. You can see that by yourself. Let's go to the population. Population 664,046 persons.
Okay. Now, do you know what they call Athens nowadays? Athens, because that's only one.
In the total, the urban of Greece, I mean even the villages, everything, it goes to 3,090,508 people.
Because Athens.
So Rome is still.
Yeah, it's still okay.
It's a lot.
In Greece, they believe that Athens, has like 5 million,
Oh, okay.
but that's the census
Not
of
true.
2011, right? Now we are
But now we
are 2019.
Yeah, but this is Wikipedia, which is refreshed.
Okay,
That was just a.
Okay, Wikipedia is not, the most
The most reliable tool
source,
to use. But
source of information.
it's 3 million.
But okay,
I don't
okay.
think Athens. There's a lot of, but it's the capital, of course.
Actually, Italy in general is Sicily. It's the bridge for Africans to
that's
through
true.
Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, and usually Italy is the state that loads all these immigrants that come to the.
Greece and Italy have the biggest problems because in Greece they come from Middle East and in Italy they come from Africa.
Yeah, you can't leave those poor humans die in the ocean. Yeah, what can you do?
Actually, we feel empathy for them with another reason because
we're humans.
We have been not only that, but we have been immigrants as well.
Yeah.
We the Albanians know about immigration
Albanians
and hardship in a different country.
Mm-hmm. Next year, I'm traveling to Sicily and. Maybe I want to go to these mountains where they speak Arbarash. They speak some Albanians there.
Piana dei Albanesi. It's outside Palermo.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
it's outside Palermo. And there is a church. There is a church in Palermo where there is an inscription about Skanderbeg.
Mm-hmm.
And I was.
You're impressed.
I was impressed because it was the most beautiful church in Palermo, in the center of Palermo, and it was writing about the immigration of the population of the Arbarash in early 16th century, and this tablet would give the brief story of their life and a chronicle about Skanderbeg.
Mm-hmm.
Our national hero.
Yeah.
And
is it ours?
Skanderbeg, yeah.
Because there is a lot of.
What do you mean?
A lot of debate from Macedonia, Serbia. I don't get it.
Okay, let us not go to politics because politics.
No, but it's ours, right? It's 100% ours.
I believe so because he fought with us, he fought for us. His flag is our national emblem.
Yeah, but he was raised in Turkey, right? Well, then he ran away and came to...
Okay, he was taken as a hostage in Edirne.
Mm-hmm. That's the story.
Yeah, because his father was a local...
How long did it stay that in Ottoman Empire?
He was raised up there. Few decades, and you
mean like 30? He had like 30?
Yes, something like that. And
how did he escape or what? Or did he just?
No, he found the right momentum to
come back to his country.
to come back and take the leadership of
his country.
Kruja initially, and his country in the end. But I think that wasn't spontaneous, because he was one of the most strategic minds of his generation. He had connections with Albania all these years.
And he kept relations.
And probably this was programmed because you couldn't decide to leave this superpower, the Ottoman Empire, and come next to it and face it.
I get it.
But his heroic stance put us in the map.
Have they revealed his height?
I believe he was tall.
You believe he's tall?
Because there are some documents that he had alliance with Venice, and Venice would give him gifts, clothes, and regarding the demand, regarding his demand to Venice about specific clothes, we can make an assumption about his height, and he was like 190, something
190. Like. You think?
I believe so.
Tall? Because
there are stories that say that Skanderbeg was quite small, in stature.
There are stories it was 167, let's say 168.
I don't believe so,
No, don't be so much impressed if it was so, because Napoleon Bonaparte was quite a short guy, but he did quite a great war.
Yeah, Napoleon Bonaparte was another generation of military strategists.
When did the revolution? Just to refresh a little things, in 1791, the first revolution.
What revolution?
1791.
The French Revolution.
Yeah.
1789.
Okay, 89. The first.
1789.
All right.
The only revolution.
No, wait a second. Wasn't another one in the 1815 after the death
1815. Napoleon lost in Waterloo.
Yeah, I remember that. And then he was sent to this island.
And there was this in 1840s. There were a few revolutions at the main cities of Europe, and it was the rise of nations, let's say.
Rise of nations.
Yeah, because these were connected, not revolutions, but connected protests about social demands all over the Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Karl Marx was
entered.
No, Karl Marx was in Paris in 1840.
Yeah, and entered the scene. Yeah.
But about Skanderbeg, I believe he was tall.
He was tall, big arms.
Okay, let us not exaggerate about his strength, because there are certain myths about his strength. He could
He's iconic. He's iconic. 1564.
67, I believe. As far as I'm 67.
Yeah, 1567.
No, 1467.
1467. Okay. Yeah, great guy, brave.
Great leader, I would
great
say.
Leader, yeah.
Great leader.
But after him, we just went underpowered by Ottoman Empire again, right?
No, we lasted 10 years. 10 years. Because Skanderbeg had created a specific model, and his court, had great strategists.
Wow.
These generals took up his army and lasted 10 more years.
Mm-hmm.
Lake Ducagini was one of them,
Yeah. Part of, yeah.
And today we have the Canon of Lake Ducagini, as was the Canon of Geri Castrioti, and many canons.
Yeah.
Every region had its canon. Because canon means order.
Order, like specific...
a specific lord sets his order about government and social behavior, and that's, let's say, in this house probably we have the canon of Henri,
Yeah, 2019.
Yes.
Maybe in some places
Yeah, we
very
still
deep.
have this. They still keep.
But in specific places, I mean.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
because the
things
Kanun
still work.
Of course, because the Kanun was the alternative of the constitution, let's say. But now that we have the formal constitution, we do not need these rules.
Wait a second. It's disapproved nowadays by the state, or it's still approved by the state?
No,
the Kanun.
of course, it's not approved.
It's not approved
because the Kanun says that, let's say, if you steal this, I have the right to do this. But
yeah. But at one time, it was. I remember it was approved by the state, so the state wouldn't interfere to this murder. Let's say.
No, I don't believe so.
You don't believe so?
I don't believe so. Because there is the rule of law, you cannot act otherwise and be.
I'm not saying in the communism era, just in the very early 90s.
Probably the
20s.
state had interfered in another way in order to minimize, let's say, the effect of the situation and not allow it to escalate. But in no way, I believe that the state would allow the parallel existence of two orders.
Yeah. Now, man, what are your projects? You are going to keep working to this?
For the moment, I will go on with this job because you accumulate.
You find yourself.
You accumulate experience from this industry, and pharmaceutical industry is always important in every region, in every state, so it's good to have experience and network. But I would like to get involved in blockchain, cryptocurrencies. I have a friend of mine who is creating his company in blockchain, and
you're trying to learn things about this.
I've started getting involved in blockchain and Bitcoin from the late 2017.
You think it's a thing that's coming?
For sure, blockchain will stay, and they are trying to regulate some cryptocurrencies in US in order to make them certified products for the market. But I believe in their potential.
You believe in their potential?
Yeah. Because
things are going up.
Yes, yeah. I don't know if you are familiar with Bitcoin, if you have seen its movements.
Yeah, I've heard about, but I'm not very involved with this movement. But I've heard about Bitcoins and how the digital currencies wants to take place.
Yes, probably it's a long-term project, but
I've heard about it since
a lot of giants of the industry, for example, Starbucks is accepting Bitcoin.
It's accepting already.
Yeah. And some other giants are investing heavily in the industry.
Well, that's a news. I didn't know about that. Starbucks is accepting Bitcoins.
There is an exchange, Gemini, and they are, let's say, they are providing guarantees to the Starbucks in order to accept Bitcoin and automatically exchange it and provide them with the dollar currency. But that's a beginning. So if you go in US, probably will be able to purchase some products with Bitcoin.
Wow. So that's your new project, let's say, and
my project and where I'm involved is called Capitwal. Capitwal is the company of this friend of mine who is Albanian, and he's trying to create a virtual bank.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, and that's very good. It's in the beginning, but today actually he is in Singapore at the conference there and trying to promote this project. And who knows?
Yeah, here in Albania, is it popular? Like let's say a conversation. Do people have some knowledge about Bitcoins?
Due to the speculation around the Bitcoin and its volatility, people believe that it's a pyramid scheme, a Ponzi scheme. And due to our bad experience about with Ponzi schemes, we are, let's say, we hesitate to.
You're a little bit skeptic, let's say, in this part.
You need a society, as you said before, with a specific culture, and we lack basic things. So I cannot expect from the Albanians to be at the optimum level to
understand,
not only to understand, to approve this digital
currency
reality.
Mm-hmm.
Because we lack essential basic things. So we cannot take the elevator, and go to the digital reality of that level.
Yeah. Which is huge. It's a huge one.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's in its embryonic phase. And even for the USA,
it will bring a lot of change in the world. People
nowadays we have Internet of Things, and this stuff, and put to that digital currency, and
Yeah, people working and doing things online.
Yeah.
That would be the simplest and the most time efficient way for people as well.
Actually, we tend to go to the automation of things. Have you seen Tesla is promoting automated cars? Google is investing, Lyft, Uber, and everything tends to go to automation.
Yeah, that's true.
Moreover, Starbucks, Starbucks bought a technology of robotics in order to make automation in their food industry.
Right.
Yeah, and I believe in the near future, meaning after 2 decades, let's say, things will be quite different.
Things are going to be online.
Not only online, but automated, robotics.
Yeah.
Sure, for sure, I believe that the cars will be, let's say, electric and automated. You won't have a taxi driver, but you will set the coordinates, autopilots, and you will go to your destination.
Yeah, big steps. This world is walking.
Yeah, big steps.
Yeah, huge.
Unfortunately, we will be, not the last, but not
not the first, not the last.
Yeah, not the first, not the last, but we'll be, let's say, the last in the queue in Europe to have this
approach towards
these facilitations of technology, because always the progress of technology begins from economic capability, and this economic capability is in the main capitals of Europe, in US. They have to taste it, they have to approve it, and this is the bandwagon effect, and we will follow the trend. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah,
it's not necessarily a problem, but
yeah, I get it.
If a change occurs in, let's say, in London in the next decade, we'll need like 3 decades to.
Yeah, true. Man, I had a great time with you today in this podcast.
It was a pleasure. Pleasure, Henri.
For me as well. Thank you.
Go on, keep going.
Yeah, I will, man. I'll stay hard. Also, you stay hard.
I will, man. I will.
Okay, let's leave now. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Cool.